Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. Welcome to Breakevens and Fallen Premiums. But I feel like this is a bit of an SOS. Things are getting worse, guys. Hewett's out. Normally, I would just keep this one nicely focused to your breakevens and talk about the numbers. But this week is getting brutal. We got Dixon, Hayes, Grundy, Cherry, Hewett. Oh, the list goes on. There's more. McCartan, of course. Hinge didn't come back. Josh Ward is managed. And then George Hewett, we get the whisper last night that there's a bit of a knock on that calf. And it's hard to know whether it was, 1 week or 2 week. Who knows? Malcolm Rosas has been named on the extended bench, but surely that means he's in. I looked at the bench. I think he's going to be named, but just take a little deep breath and just breathe it all out, because this is one of those weeks where you just go, SuperCoach is an absolute fucking, you know where I'm going with that one. It's tough, but we'll get through it together, my friends. If you need a little distraction, Shorty told another Tinder story on the preview to round 6 or 7 or whatever it is. I think it's round 7. Yep, there it is. So that can just be a little distraction for you for 5 or 6 minutes. Then it's back to the carnage, and that's what we're going to deal with. It's what we tried to deal with in the preview, bit of a longer one, but there's been a few videos this week too. Sorry if it's a bit of video overload, but just had the extra goal kicking comp. Me and Langers did a podcast, and the league being ranked number 1, so there's a bit going on. So I'll get to the break-evens in a second, but I just wanted to say my advice would be to keep Hewett at this stage and do your darndest to avoid a 0. Comment below if you are fielding a full side or if you got 1 donut, 2 donuts. My golden rule normally is take a long-term view to your trades unless you're copping a donut. But, then you can try and sort of salvage something for this week. But it's going to be tough. Like, I'll give you a quick look at my team. Basically I'm scratching through. I've got DeConning there, Gibcus on the bench. We got nothing on this bench in the midfield. We got Hayes there. We got nothing on that bench. So look, if Roses for whatever reason isn't named, I can bring DeConning back. I just want to get a look at Gibcus' score tonight. If it goes well, I can take it by putting Hinge in there. Another question, if he's named the medical sub, I got to get him out of there. So there's a bit to think about. Do not name him the medical sub, whatever you do. I'll lose my nut, but I'll go crazy. I'll lose my nuts, maybe not the right terminology to use, but you get what I'm saying. So I would say just hold on to George Hewett. He's such a gun. He's been great for us. Unless we get some more information. At the moment, I have read that it's a significant calf cork. What's going on with these calves? Like Roses, Dixon, now how do you cork a calf? It's a bizarre little injury. Normally they're strains or absolute tears, but calf makes me worried. But I have a look at everything from VC and captain options to your actual trade plans and my trades in the preview. But this is something that I just, this type of video, I just want to hone in on the break-evens themselves and talk about a bit more of a shorter term focus, and then move into the fallen premiums with a bit of a longer term focus. But I talk about a lot of this in the preview as well. But, hopefully you guys get around both videos. Let me know if you're enjoying this extra one. But look, Hayes is the man. You got to bring him in. Negative 97 break even. It's a no-brainer. I've had a couple of people sort of say, look, I'm not sure if I can fit him in, or can I do this? Just do everything you can to get him in without doing something stupid, basically, because these second wave of rookies, they're so hard to try and find and establish as genuine money makers. He's going to be one. Same can be said for Roses. A lot of people might have gone him to Loman or Curtis or something like that last week. But I think if you did change last week, time to bring him in. Of course, if he's named, we'll find out in about an hour or so. But he's a fantastic cash cow option. It's not too late on Bruce, as you can see, minus 46. And then it starts to get, less obvious. I think they're the main ones that you got to look at. Dempsey, I'd happily give it one more week. Looked very impressive, but Geelong's a pretty tough forward line to break into. Gary Rowan isn't too close to playing at all, so I think his job security is okay, but he's very light. He's very raw, so I wouldn't I couldn't sit here and say he's got great job security, but he's got a lot of X factor, and I really like what I see so far in his first game. Was really good. Just want to get another look at him. Luke Strindika, I heard the commentators pronounce it something far more fluent, but whatever his name is, I doubt he's going to be relevant because we've got a few other options with our ruck rookies, but he was solid first up. And then Rosie, I'd talk about more on the preview, but he's not my cup of tea. Laddams, I'd talk about more on the preview. Just want to maybe talk about rookies in this one more so. Hobbs and Callaghan, or Callahan, however you want to go about saying that one, not massive on either. I guess for the young giant, I just get a sense that he could be dropped at any moment. I know that's a bit harsh, but if he was 123, 130, 140k even, I'd probably be on board. But that extra cash just makes it a touch iffy. They dropped Bruin. That's interesting. So look, he looked really good. Nothing against him. He looked really good. But I just get a gut feel sense. Cooper Hamilton playing. That's interesting. Keep an eye there. It's just a gut feel thing. I just don't want to pay that extra money. I can't back it up with any sort of he's going to come back and this will mean this, because there are no absolute guys that I feel like are 100% coming back for the Giants and he's going to make way for them. I just don't like paying that extra bit of coin for a pretty strong Giants midfield. I know they're not playing well. And as for Hobbs, didn't score great last week. Just didn't quite look up to the absolute hustle and bustle of senior footy. He'll be better for the run, but I wouldn't be jumping at trading him into your side. And then, we sort of start to move beyond the minus break-evens and lose a bit of interest after that. In terms of the other way we can look at it, guys who are falling, coming into our range, Ollie Wines is an interesting one. You're going to get a guy who's easily going to average over 100, probably going to get him around 510, 515. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I wouldn't sit here and say jump out and make it a priority. I think there's some other nicely priced midfielders that are only 60 or 70k more expensive than him. It's just his ball use. I know last year averaged amazing, but I just wonder if he's slipping back to what most of his career was, and that's an average between 99 and 104. Just something to keep in mind. Could be a really solid M8. I don't necessarily want to bring him in just yet. Bontempelli, just, not enthused about him, just with his role at the moment. Happy to wait and see. If you're in a draft comp, just see if anyone's got Goldstein, because he could just be, even for the next 4 or 5 weeks, when Cherry is out, I think he could be a very, very handy option in your forward line or your ruck, because I think he'll take a lot of the ruck duties. Keep an eye on Taranto. He's got to be in your plans to come in once he drops that 60 that he scored last week. And then we sort of start to drop away. Once we get below 150 in the break-evens, it sort of loses a bit of relevancy in terms of big drops in the cash. So there are a few of my thoughts. It's definitely a big chance to be another trade boost week. It was for me, but all I can say is good luck for this week. Sometimes there are weeks in SuperCoach where we are really hoping everyone performs and we get a massive 2,400 score and, it's the best of the best going against each other. This week is survival of the fittest. You just want to get 22 out there and you just sit down and pray that you get a bit of luck with your rookies. I'll be just hoping for 60s for some of these on-field rookies that have been on my bench on other weeks. So it's a tough one, but hang in there. I just want to get through this week and have no damage done. No more injuries, thanks. No drop in rank. Just happy to plateau. So yes, let me know what trades you're thinking of doing or have already done. And good luck for the whole weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon at the press conference. Cheers.